It's time for an update on my multi-group build GTO project. This one falls into the Blue Ox Modeling's Street Machine Group Build, Woody's Rock and Roll on Wheels Group Build, NYS Modeling's Pro Street Group Build, and the Lucas C 67-72 GTO Group Build. Woo! I've mentioned some of the work on this project has been done at a local in-person group build, which I highly recommend if you have one in your area. Let's discuss the front grille bumper assembly. It's fairly well engraved, with decent detail, but I want to step this up a notch. The first thing is removing the molded in grille texture. The Ninja saw was used to remove this at approximately the thickness of the grille texture. Taking it slow and steady showed I could even remove the turn signal at the same time. Here is the driver's side removed. The remaining material is very thin and was easily removed with a hobby knife. Next, the molded in headlights need to be addressed. The first step is to drill a small hole as close to center as possible. This is a pilot hole for larger bits to gradually remove the headlights. I don't recommend starting with a big drill bit because of the chance it walks winding up off center. The last step involves the Dremel tool. This must be done on a very slow speed with a very steady hand. The cutting bits cut quickly, so a light touch is needed. Final finishing is done with a cone-shaped grinding bit.
So back at the bench, we have the cleaned up grill. And what should be next is opening up this area underneath it. And I just don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to just flow a black wash in there and call it done, because I've made it this far and I've managed to keep the chrome nice, and I don't know if I want to really push my luck with it. So I think that's what I'm going to do, and of course we're going to have to, you know, put a front tag on it because 1967 is not very cool, but that's something on down the road. And I'm sure you want to know what we're going to do about these 6 holes. So let's get to that. In part 1 of the video, I kind of hinted at I had this piece of paper in there. That was part of the development for the Model Car Garage 2267 1966 GTO Le Mans Tempest detail set. Right there. It is improperly labeled as a Revell kit, but this is what you basically get. Let's open this up, and as you can see, I've already opened it up and already started playing with it. So this is neat. It has both the GTO grill and a Tempest grill, and tons of little doodads, emblems, and this is metal for those that haven't ever worked with photo etch. And it's very easy to work with. You simply just cut it out with a hobby knife and apply. We'll get into more of how that stuff works later, but I've already gotten the grill. If I can pick it up, there we go. It's kind of hard to see. But there is one of the grills cut out of the fret, and look at how nice this is gonna look. It fits in there somehow, just like that. And so once it's all painted and detailed, we put the turn signals back on, and I believe there's even a little GTO emblem to fit in there. That's gonna look really good. For headlights, my favorite go-to right now is Czech Truck Model. And these are actually for a big rig, as you can see, but they are 4.6 millimeters, and they're the US style lights. And when you see these things, and when you wonder, Czech Truck Model, yes, that's like in Czech Republic. And I've ordered directly from them, and no problems. These are also on eBay if you want to go with a US distributor. And what's neat about these is this is plated photo etch with the bezel, with the lenses already on there. Aren't those amazing? As you can see, they are made in Czech Republic, and I've used these on other builds and they're just outstanding, and they're very cost effective too, so much better than molded in headlight lenses. So when the time comes, we're going to be putting those in there. So those are like super cool. So we're going to put these back in the box for now. The other thing about this kit is how this grille fits the body. And I've spent quite a bit of time file fitting this to fit where it needs to go. And basically where I worked it is all along inside here with files and my Dremel tool. So that fits very nice. You probably won't get it perfect, but you can make a much better fit than what comes in the kit. And it's just basically working, all of this edge, file that down, make sure there's no flash whatsoever in this. And really there wasn't a whole lot done on here because you can still see the plating. And if you've got rough areas around here, just clean that up. I had to clean up a little bit on the top of here. This will get painted. And you can see even much of the chrome is still there. A little bit of filing on that inside edge, even the chrome bumper, because I was trying not to really mess up this chrome because it's actually pretty nice. And we're going to try to not have to strip it. But pretty pleased with how that fits now. So let's move on to some other front end stuff.
The 67 Chevelle chassis has separate front spindles, so here is an easy way to add posable steering to your model. First, drill a hole through the spindle to accept a piece of craft beading wire. Make it longer than needed at this point. Insert the spindle into the mocked-up chassis with the lower control arms already in place. Mark where the wire aligns with the tie rod mount that is molded to the lower control arm. This is where the wire will be bent up at a 90-degree angle. Next, head over to the tie rod. Notice the holes are much too big for the wire. This is a fairly easy fix. Drill the ends out to accept some 1/16 aluminum tubing. Cut thin sections of the tubing and then insert those into the ends of the tie rod. This will allow it to fit tightly on the beading wire on the spindles.
So after doing the tie rod, all that's left is to snip these off. Boop. Burn pile. After I cut the tie rod off of the sprue and inserted it on, we have the steering that works, or posable anyway. And sure, we could add, pitman arms and steering other doodads and whatnots, but I think for this build, that's going to be adequate. And this didn't really take that much time. I'm thinking this whole process took probably 30 minutes and adds a neat little detail to your GTO. So let's move on.
Previously, I assembled the roll cage and added the GTO dash to the Chevelle interior. I feel like it needs a little more GTO in here.
So the GTO interior tub has this console molded in, which is okay, I guess. It also has a chrome insert that goes on the console, which is pretty interesting. I think this piece will actually look pretty good once you get all the thick chrome and it gets cleaned up. One thing I don't like about it is it's an automatic, and the GTO has a 4-speed transmission, and I think I want to keep a transmission that does this kind of stuff. So we might have to do something with that later. Meanwhile, we need to figure out a way to get this console out of this interior tub. If you watch the channel, you know what's going to happen next. Here we go. That's a start. So there we have the console part. We'll trim some more. And I think this piece, you know where it's heading. Yup. Burn pile. This is just a good old-fashioned deleting. Okay, I think that's a pretty good start. We're have to clean up the rest of it, probably with some files and some sanding sticks. So let's break those out next.
This might look like a mess, but sometimes that's what's needed to get the part that you want.
So what we have here is a little console that will fit right about there. We've been working some on the roll bar some, and it will slide in there, kind of like that. Not really, it's not there. There we go. And we also 3D printed some seats. So those will fit in there like so. And now we're getting a pretty solid look at the interior. So I think that this is a pretty good place to stop. Next time we're going to be doing some more body work and probably some more 3D printing. So be sure to like, comment, subscribe. You know what to do, because I have all kinds of model car stories to tell. Thanks for watching.